I still remember the day Aisha first arrived in Garenbaka. It was during the planting season, when the sun was harsh and the earth thirsty. She came with her younger brother, Musa, carrying only a woven sack and a quiet kind of fire in her eyes. At first, no one paid her much attention. She was just another widow trying to start over in a new village. But in a place like ours, even silence makes noise. You see, Garenbako is a proud village. Our customs are old, our elders older, and the rules as solid as the rocks that line the river quarry. Women here did not speak in council meetings. They did not raise their eyes in front of men. They did not own land or lead prayers, even if their knowledge surpassed everyone else's. But Aisha was different. She built her own mud house with Musa's help. People watched, murmuring, "No woman builds a house alone." But she did. Then she began farming a small piece of unclaimed land near the stream. She planted maize, millet, and groundnut. Her crops grew faster than most. She worked from dawn till dusk, and when she walked through the village, her head held high. Some men would scoff, but others watched in quiet admiration. Then came the first spark. At the village council, the chief had summoned every household head to discuss a new tax imposed by the emir. Only men were allowed at the meeting, of course. But when the drummers called the people to the square, Aisha showed up. Not as an onlooker, no. She walked straight to the mat, where the elders sat, and took her place. The murmurs were deafening. I myself was seated there, shocked. The chief, Al-Haji Umar, stared at her like she'd spat on his turban. "Aisha," he said, his voice sharp, "this council is for men." She looked him dead in the eye and replied, "Then perhaps it is time the council learned to listen better." Gasp! You could hear a calabash fall. The chief laughed. "You forget your place, woman." But Aisha smiled. "No, I remember it very well. I just don't accept it." It was from that day that the village divided. Some believed she had bewitched herself with foreign ideas. Others began to question quietly why women, who tilled the land, raised the children, brewed the drinks, and stitched the cloth, could not be heard. Then came the Karaten Rana, the day the village celebrates the blessing of the sun. That year, Aisha held her own celebration. She invited women to recite poems, tell stories, even debate with local boys about tradition and fairness. I was there. I saw a 10-year-old girl tell the crowd that she wanted to become a scholar, and Aisha clapped the loudest. The elders called it rebellion. One night, while we slept, someone set fire to her crops. Musa was beaten on his way home from the stream. No one claimed responsibility, but we all knew. She went to the chief's palace demanding justice. They told her to kneel first, to apologize, that she had brought shame to womanhood. She looked each elder in the eye and said, "If kneeling means accepting silence, then I will stand, even if I stand alone." That was when they banished her. They said she could stay in the village, but her voice would no longer be welcome. She would not be greeted, sold goods, or helped. It was death by isolation. But Aisha did not leave. Instead, she began to teach under the old baobab tree. Every afternoon, children came, girls and boys, sitting cross-legged, learning to read and write in Hausa and English. At first, it was just Musa and a few others. But soon, parents began to sneak their children there, claiming they were going to the stream or the farm. Even some of the elders' grandchildren sat under that baobab. Then came the turning point, Halima's case. Halima was the daughter of the village butcher. She was barely 15, when her marriage was arranged to a man thrice her age. The night before the wedding, she ran to Aisha. We found them sitting at the edge of the stream at dawn. The elders demanded Aisha bring the girl back for the ceremony. Instead, she spoke to the crowd. When a girl has no voice, her silence becomes a prison. If that is tradition, then it is a chain, not a culture. It was the first time in my life I saw a crowd choose a woman's words over the chief's staff. From that day, things began to shift. One woman spoke at the next village meeting, then two, then three. Within a year, Aisha was chosen to be the first woman to represent our village at the Regional Education Council in Kazor. And when the chief fell ill, do you know who led the prayers for his recovery? Aisha. Now, 10 years later, her school is no longer under the baobab. It is a brick building, with solar panels on the roof and books from all over Africa. Her face is on posters across the state, not as a rebel, but as a leader. And here in Garenbako, when a girl is born, we no longer say, "Ah, too bad it's not a boy." We say, perhaps she will be like Aisha, the woman who refused to kneel.